Tony, thank you very much for your time. The first race of the afternoon sees a very strong hand for the Paul Peter Yard. Master of Disguise having his third start, and he looks absolutely cherry ripe.
Yeah, Master of Disguise is a nice colt. His first run was quite good. His second run, he was sort of up there, and he got outpaced late. The 1400 should be up his alley and should take a power of beating.
And the stable companion, WATUSI?
WATUSI, he's a full brother to Smart Mart. He went quite a trip. This fellow also seems like he's going to stay quite well. Very inexperienced, so hope he can run on.
Matthew, on Saturday, you start off with MYNAGE in the second race, a Pomodoro filly, out of a mare, funny enough, that Tarry trained as well. So it's interesting that Team KOCK ended up with this filly.
Yeah, she's a nice looking filly. We bought off the ready to run sale, if I'm not mistaken. She moves well, probably expected to be a bit green first time out and improve from the run, and I'm sure one you can follow in the next couple of runs.
Second race of the afternoon, we all know about Cloth of Cloud, how good she was, but this is Cloth of Ice, and first to start at the track.
Yeah, she's got quite a deep draw to contend with. She's a nice filly, also going to look for quite a bit further in time. Hope she can be running on into quartets.
Moving on to WALLAA, she's had the 3 starts, but this is her second run after quite an extended break, but the same kind of ability has been shown on both occasions.
Yeah, and last time up she moved up very well and got tired. So with natural improvements, I expect her to be very competitive on Saturday. She's got a good draw and she's doing well at home.
Gaynor Rupert's Dark Song starts your day off in the third race on Saturday.
Yes, a filly that over-raced in her last start. She's shown us a bit more than what she's bringing to the race course. Hopefully with the addition of earmuffs, she'll settle down a bit, and a decent run is expected. It would be nice to be a little closer to the paint in order to have any sort of confidence, but we do expect a bit more improvement.
Lovely. And then you've got another break before you get a Arapaho with 62.5 kilograms.
Yeah, Arapaho, the rider went quite fast on him last time in the Guineas. Sort of come off quite a long break, and it wasn't ideal for him to go that quick. We're dropping him down in trip, freshened him up a bit, and hopefully he can give a good account of himself.
The first leg of the Pick Six sees Manchester United's home ground, Theatre of Dreams, the ride of Warren Kennedy.
Sure, this has been such a disappointing filly. She works with the best of them at home, and she just doesn't bring it to the racecourse. Trying the drop-in trip, maybe it will suit her, but like I said, she works with everything at home, and she just hasn't quite put it together. If she finds her best work, she'll play with the field.
Okay, then you've got the pair of Majestic Rio, a daughter of Visionaire, and then of course the gelding, I believe he is, the son of Skit Sizzle, Mount Everest in race 4.
I think they should both be competitive, decent draws. I think they both will appreciate the inside course. Obviously, the filly is getting the claimer and the 6 allowance, so if he rides a decent race, I'm sure he should be in with a shout. And we may just try blinkers on Mount Everest, and it was a very nice run in his last start, so probably bring him into the race if there's nothing too strong on form. I haven't been through it too closely.
You don't have a big breeding enterprise, but Skit Sizzle has to be taken seriously as a stallion pedigree-wise, and obviously he didn't get to perform the way that he could have.
Yeah, listen, he had unlimited ability as a racehorse. Obviously already as a stallion we've seen him doing some very special things with a small number of runners that he's had, and Jet Master out of a Northern Guest mare, how could you go wrong?
Lovely. And then you've got another break before you get a Arapaho with 62.5 kilograms.
Yeah, Arapaho, the rider went quite fast on him last time in the Guineas. Sort of come off quite a long break, and it wasn't ideal for him to go that quick. We're dropping him down in trip, freshened him up a bit, and hopefully he can give a good account of himself.
The Grand Heritage winner, RIVERSTOWN, reappears on the 7th of the afternoon.
Yeah, RIVERSTOWN, we've always had the stamina doubt in mind, and the Guineas was a tad too far. The horse in front of him fell, that horse with Dennis Schwartz of Mr. Aziz, and Warren was forced to show him daylight earlier than he wanted to. But we always had that question mark with the distance, and now we're bringing him down in trip. We're going to put a small blink on him, and let's hope he can quicken nicely.
Spirit of the Groove, who patently found the mile a little bit on the far side, she gets back to a more respectable trip for her.
Yeah, I think obviously inside course 1200 may be a bit on the sharp side. However, she quickens up nicely, and if it's a reasonably good tempo in the race, I'm sure she'll make her presence felt.
AQUA Delta returns to racing after quite a lengthy break.
Yeah, he had a pulled muscle after his 2-year-old campaign. He's a nice horse. It's a competitive race. I wouldn't be surprised to see him run well, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a bit tired after the long layoff. But he's a nice horse, and I think that you can watch him for the future.
Okay, and then Rebels Champ needs no introduction. He is a top-class sprinter.
Yeah, Rebels Champ, he doesn't have a problem with the course. He's drawn a little bit wide, but there's plenty of pace in the race, so he should be able to get over. The doubt is that he's giving the rest of the field quite a lot of weight, but he deserves to carry that weight, and hope he'll be flying at them in the death.
Okay, then you've really got some quite strong runners up until now, but it looks like Marshall FOCH might be one of the better runners of the day.
Marshall FOCH, all heart. He gives his best every time he races, and he's in a good space at home, and there's no reason why he shouldn't go back to back.
Last of a legend, you always had very high hopes for him, and perhaps a trifle disappointing, but he's not exactly out of form.
No, he's coming into form slowly. We did think highly of him to start with. He did lose his way. I think this is the right course and distance, a decent draw, so he should be competitive.
A horse that I thought we could really watch for the future was HELLOFARIDE. He won so impressively at TURFFONTEIN, smashing looking individual, but he has had the unkindest cut of all, and he should just about be getting to some sort of peak form.
Yeah, he's had his run after gelding last time. He needed it badly. Was in a competitive field. We're using this as a prep for the Derby trial. He's also never showed us much at home and surprised us at the races, so hard to assess him, but I'm hoping he goes better.
Geoff, we've got the gelding by McGock called THERAVADA, who looks to have more than an each-way shout, I would think.
Yeah, I must say, I just worked him up now, Andy. Very, very solid work. Obviously, he's not a star, but in this type of field, I think he's very competitive, decent draw, lowish weight. Chase knows him quite well, so I think he's definitely an inclusion.
A couple of weeks back, we spoke about the process in the barn. Horses are looking outstanding, I have to say.
Yeah, they're definitely coming to hand, and I think probably 2 or 3 weeks' time, we hopefully will be right up to speed again, which is what you want. We're in the season now, but yeah, it's been a good learning curve, and I think we're what doesn't kill you makes you strong.
Looking at your attire, you look like an American baseball player, so what about American Hustle?
American Hustle, we're trying him over the ground. He also doesn't have the best draw, so we'll leave it to Warren and see what he can do.
You've changed the equipment with the carbon atom. You've also had a high regard for this horse, and perhaps he's back to a trip that's where he's probably going to be more effective.
He probably will be more effective, especially at this course. I didn't learn much, him trying the mile without the blinkers. He wasn't ridden exactly as I would have liked. Back to this course, which he does enjoy, I am expecting a very good showing. Russian beat, been a bit disappointing too. We're trying the blinkers, and hopefully that'll help him round off his race.
Yeah, Dave McLean and partners. He is a nice horse. He seems in good form. A little bit of a tricky draw, but he's only got one style of running, which is jump and go. So if he can get a softish lead or good position comfortably, I expect him to run well.